This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(6:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The President says a task force for agricultural modernization will be set up soon. A 5-year plan has been prepared to prevent the control of non-communicable diseases. An intensive security program will be implemented with over 5,000 police officers during the Kandy Asala festival that begins next week. Prisons will be maintained in a way that does not burden the treasury. News overseas: 36 dead as Hawaii fires burn through resort town. In sports, the election of office bearers of Football Sri Lanka will take place on the 16th of September. And those are the headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says a task force for agricultural modernization, inclusive of government and private sector representatives, will soon merge agriculture, plantations, irrigation and Mahaveli development ministries. He stated this is a unification along with resources from 9 provincial councils aims to effectively tackle agriculture-related issues, the President's media division said. The aim of this program is to accelerate agricultural development through the country. Deputy Director General of Health Services Consultant Dr. Susi Pereira says that a 5-year plan has been devised to prevent and control of non-communicable diseases. Assistance of a private sector will also be obtained to carry out this plan. She made these remarks at a ceremony held at the Temple Trees yesterday to launch the Suveng Sitimu National Health Care Program. All, including parents and children, should support this project to make this a success. Diyavadana Nilame of Sri Lanka Dalada Maligawa, Pradeep Nilangadayala, says a large crowd, including foreigners, is expected in view to this year's Kandy Asala Perahera festival. An intensive security plan will be implemented with over 5,000 police officers during the festival. The Perahera festival will commence on the 17th of this month with the traditional cap planting ceremony to the 4 Mahadevalayas. The cap planting ceremony will be held at the 4 great temples of Natha, Vishnu, Kataragama and Patini at the auspicious time of 6:12 a.m. facing the northwest direction. Devardhana Nilame announced starting the Asala festival, the first Kumbal Perahera will take place or will parade the streets on the 21st of August and parade the streets for 5 days until 25th August. And this news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
Justice and Prison Affairs State Minister Anuradha Jayaratne says a discussion has already been commenced on setting up a legal system for maintaining prisons in a way that does not burden the treasury. The State Minister also noted that 4 private institutions have shown their support for a program to construct private sector companies in the prisons and employ the prisoners there. He expressed these views during a press conference themed Collective Path to a Stable Country held at the Presidential Media Center yesterday. State Minister Anuradha Jayaratne further commented, as of today, the total number of inmates in prisons are 28,468. It was also revealed that the number of drug-related offenders has increased rapidly. As per today, 50.3% of the total inmates are people who were imprisoned for drug-related offences. In some prisons, about 65% are detained due to drug-related offences. It has been observed a pattern of offenders being imprisoned for drug-related offences repeatedly as they return to their regular environments following the completion of the sentence imposed by the court. As a result, attention has now been focused on guiding individuals towards a program that combines skills development and rehabilitation. More than $1 billion debt owed to India by Sri Lanka will undergo restructuring as a part of International Monetary Fund-led debt restructuring program for the crisis-hit South Asian country, Indian media reported yesterday. The debt is part of the line of credit that Government of India has extended to Sri Lanka over the years for undertaking various projects, primarily related to infrastructure building associated with roads, energy, water, housing projects, among others. India's current exposure to Sri Lanka is about $3 billion. And that's local news.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior. A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Immigration and Immigration Controller General Harsha Ilukpitiya said that the Immigration Department has received 50,330 online applications through the online system as of 8:30 a.m. yesterday. From the applicants received, 41,588 have applied under the normal service and 26,972 such applications have been accepted as completed applications with all documents. So far, 6,405 passports have been issued under the system. The Commissioner General also said that 14,676 applications from the above have been sent with defective documents and the applicants have been informed to resend them with all stipulated documents. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
The Railways Department today announced the temporary closure of the railway line between Kandy and Katugaseta for 3 days on the Mathale-Kandy railway line. They said the railway line will be closed for required repairs and will be closed from midnight on August 18th till 4 p.m. on August 21st.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
Moving on to world news headlines, 36 dead as fires burn through resort town. Candidate in Ecuador's presidential election, Fernando Villavicencio, shot dead. Mum, daughter and Brit, 80, countdown to space flight. And those are the headlines. At least 36 people have died in wildfires sweeping through the Hawaiian highland of Maui. Authorities say it's too early to know the extent of the damage, but at least 270 buildings have been destroyed. The historic town of Lahaina, a famous tourism area on Maui, has suffered major damage. The wildfire began last Tuesday and spread quickly, fueled by strong winds generated by Hurricane Dora. Thousands of tourists and residents have been evacuated to makeshift shelters. A candidate in Ecuador's forthcoming presidential election who campaigned against corruption and gangs has been shot dead at a campaign rally. Fernando Villavicencio, a member of the country's National Assembly, was attacked as he left the event in the capital Quito last Wednesday. He is one of the few candidates to allege links between organized crime and government officials in Ecuador. A rocket plane is due to fly from New Mexico carrying on 80-year-old British former Olympian and Aberdeen student and her mother into space. Mayors Anastasia Mayers and her mother Keisha Scaff won the tickets to board the Virgin Galactic flight in a competition. John Goodwin from the Newcastle under Lyme will become the second person with Parkinson's disease to go to space. The mission will be seen as another test of how viable space tourism is. And that's World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities from Deshak Sri Lanka in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Oman, including company housemaid, salary 156,000 rupees, 23 to 57 years. Contact 037 7500 500.
In a move towards addressing the country's labour challenges, Labour and Foreign Employment Minister Manusha Nanekara has advised officials to form a committee to study and develop a comprehensive labour market policy for the next 5 years. Minister Nanekara stated that the initiative covers both formal and informal sectors spanning white-collar, blue-collar and new-collar jobs, which is backed by the technical assistance of the International Labour Organization and local labour economists.
Job opportunities for women from Deshak Sri Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Company housemaids, caretakers and home cooks in Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 57 years. Salaries starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can now travel overseas free of charge. Branches: Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 7500 500. Deshak Sri Lanka Foreign Development Agency.
In sports, the election of office bearers of Football Sri Lanka is expected to pave the way for FIFA to lift its international suspension of Sri Lanka. Will take place on September 16th under the supervision of FIFA and the Asian Football Confederation. Last month, FIFA approved the inclusion of Sri Lanka into the official draw for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, despite the suspension that has been in place since January this year.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara says Sri Lanka will kick off a procurement process to buy power from independent power producers to feed the grid in the south of the country after a lower than expected rainfall pushed up water needs for paddy. Bids are to be called from ACE Matra, ACE Ambilipitia and V Power, which are in position to connect to the southern grid.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, President Ranil Wickremesinghe says Sri Lanka will seek investments to make Colombo and Trincomalee ports hubs for the export of green hydrogen and green ammonia made with renewable energy. Sri Lanka had plans to make 70% of the electricity renewable energy by 2030. The North and East region would be a key source of renewable energy, which would be developed in partnership with India. And that was economic news. In weather report, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in eastern and Uva provinces and in Mullaitivu and Vavuniya districts during the evening or night. A few showers will occur in western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Galle, Matra, Kandy and Nuwara districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere over the island. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And that was the weather report. To wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The President says a task force for agricultural modernization will be set up soon. A 5-year plan has been prepared to prevent and control of non-communicable diseases. An intensive security program will be implemented with over 5,000 police officers during the Kandy Asela festival that begins next week. Prisons will be maintained in a way that does not burden the treasury. News overseas, 36 dead as Hawaii fires burn through resort town. In sports, the election of office bearers of Football Sri Lanka will take place on the 16th of September. With that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.